Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you an interesting aspect of Slavic languages. I had a problem understanding this while learning Russian, but after doing some research I found out that most, if not all, Slavic languages have them. Here's an example.
Here is the same sentence translated into 4 Slavic languages. As you can see, they are directly translatable. Sorry if there are any mistakes in the other 3 languages.
This video will focus mainly on Russian because it's the only Slavic language that I've studied. So what these are is a kind of phrase or construction that when translated into English sound very, very strange. The only time I was able to find a name for these, or an explanation at all, was on this website. Here it refers to them as TK constructions, presumably because the first word normally begins with a T and the second with a K. As far as I'm aware, they don't have an official name in Russian, and you have to use a full sentence to explain them. Something like «Конструкции с указательными и вопросительными местоимениями», which doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. If anyone is aware of an official name for these, please let me know in the comments. So here are some examples of these phrases.
Для того, чтобы. Тогда, когда. До того, как. То, что. После того, как. Кроме того, чтобы. For that, in order to. Then, when. Until that, how. That. After that, how. Except that, in order to.
So as you can see, translated literally, these phrases mean almost nothing in English. And here I'll show you some example sentences. I'll show you them first literally translated, so you can see what is being said, and then actual translations. Some of these sentences I made up myself, and others I found online.
Я видел того, о ком мы говорили вчера. I saw the one about whom we talked yesterday. Мне нравятся те, которые слушают меня. I like those who listen to me. This surprisingly works in English. Мы говорили о том, что произошло вчера. We talked about that, what happened yesterday. Ты получишь столько денег, сколько я скажу. You'll get so much money, how much I'll say. These actually translated would be, I saw the one we talked about yesterday. I like those who listen to me. We talked about what happened yesterday. You'll get as much as I'll say.
So here I'll explain how these phrases are formed.
These phrases are comprised of, firstly, demonstrative pronouns, or указательные местоимения. То, тот, та, and so on, meaning that, the thing, those. Такой, такая, такие, and so on, meaning such, that way. Так, so, in that way. Там, оттуда, туда, meaning there, from there, and to there. Тогда, then. Столько, so many, so much. Потому, therefore. Then they are followed by interrogative pronouns. Вопросительные местоимения. Кто, кем, кого, and so on, meaning who or whom. Что, чего, чем, and so on, meaning what or that. Какой, какая, какие, and so on, meaning which. Как, meaning how or as. Где, куда, откуда, meaning where, to where, and from where. Когда, meaning when. Сколько, meaning how many, how much. Почему, why.
I've come up with about 3 main situations where you need to use them, but I couldn't find any detailed explanations of this online, so this is just my understanding.
Situation 1. You need to use a noun after a preposition. In the situation where there isn't a noun, then you use the word to, того, том, the word for that or those. Example 1. После работы я пошел в магазин. After work, I went to the shop. So work is a noun. You don't need to change anything here. But после того, как я закончил работу, я пошел в магазин. After I finished work, I went to the shop. This is almost exactly the same sentence, but the second one uses a verb after a preposition, so you have to change the sentence in Russian, but not in English. Example 2. Я сделал это для него. I did it for him. Him is a pronoun, so nothing else is needed. But again, if you use a verb, я сделал это для того, чтобы привлечь внимание. I did it to get attention. Again, because we are using a verb after a preposition, we use one of these phrases. For this situation, these phrases are normally used. They don't make sense if you translate each word, but it's simply the way to use any of these prepositions before a verb, and they are just phrases. Situation 2. When you want to join two clauses with an interrogative pronoun. Example, when, where, which. Я сказал ему тогда, когда он был готов. I told him when he was ready.
This is a little complicated, so let me break this down.
So first we have Я сказал ему, I told him, and then он был готов, he was ready. These are two separate clauses, and we want to link these with когда, when. Now we can't just write Я сказал ему, когда он был готов, I told him when he was ready. Even though this makes sense in English, we have to add then and say I told him then when he was ready, even though this sounds very strange. Example 2. Я живу там, где много иностранцев. I live where there are many foreigners. Situation 3. When one word requires two grammatical cases. Мы говорим о том, что произошло вчера. We are talking about what happened yesterday. So here we have about what and what happened. In Russian, о чем, что произошло. The Russian words change for case, so which one do you use when they are both needed in the same sentence? Using both looks like this. Instead, the first is changed to a demonstrative pronoun, and the sentence is split into two parts with a comma.
I hope those explanations weren't a bit too complicated, because this is quite difficult to understand. And here are some more example sentences.
Мой сын такой, какой есть. My son is the way which is. Невозможно арестовать того, кого здесь нет. Impossible to arrest that whom here not. Ты должен пойти с тем, с кем тебе комфортно. You need to go with those with whom to you comfortable. Сюрприз в том, что внутри шоколад. Surprise in that inside chocolate. Actually meaning, my son is the way he is. It's impossible to arrest someone who isn't here. You need to go with those you are comfortable with. The surprise is that there's chocolate inside.
One aspect that I find very difficult about these is sometimes the same preposition will be used, but the case will change. This depends entirely on the word coming before the phrase.
На то что, on that. На том что, on that. These are translated the same, but the case is actually different. Some words require the first and some the second. For example, похоже, несмотря, указывать, similar, despite, to indicate. All require the accusative case, на то что. Examples. Это не похоже на то, что я написал. That's not like what I wrote. Несмотря на то, что холодно на улице, нам понравилось. Despite it being cold outside, we really enjoyed it. Все указывает на то, что он был прав. Everything indicates that he was right. But the words настаивать, сосредоточиться, сойтись, insist, focus, and come together require the prepositional case, на том что. Он настаивал на том, чтобы мы ушли. He insisted that we leave. Я сосредоточусь на том, что могу контролировать. I focus on what I can control. Мы сошлись на том, что задержек не будет. We agreed that there would be no delays.
This is just one of those things you have to memorize. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. I generally haven't found any other explanations of this in any other videos or articles online, so I'm glad at least there's one now. And thanks for watching.